Suppose the lesson with Netflix or any of these platforms are that these companies are at the whim of investors but also are not able to relate to the punter's experience. Take Meta for example. Facebook is slowly dying as its main demographic is also slowly dying. So in an ingenious move, Mark Zuckerberg decides to create Meta. A virtual reality where you can be whoever you want to be, talk to whoever you want to talk to, and have whoever or whatever you want sit on your face. I mean socialize with whoever you want to socialize with. But since its launch, Meta doesn't seem to be taking off as the virtual utopia it was promised to be, due to the public's apprehension to plugging into the matrix of a counterfeit reality. So what does Mark do? He thinks to himself, why is no one plugging in? If they're not online, where do they live? If they're not in Meta, then whichever reality they reside in is a direct competitor to my version of reality, so he looks into all the places people don't have their phone on them. Hydrofoiling, MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. When the humanoid customers are not in the metaverse, they are at Jiu-Jitsu competitions. So if the humanoids won't come to the metaverse, then the Zuck must go to the humanoids. Excellent promotional move by the Zuck. So even when the humanoids are in their silly reality, they cannot escape the metaverse. No, I'm only joking. I love that the Zuck's out there being healthy and breaking arms. Shout out to the competitors that beat him in competition, because now all of your past online transgressions have probably now been suspiciously leaked and your identities sold to China. In all seriousness, the reason why Meta doesn't work is because when you put the headset on, you still remember the continuity of your life before you put the headset on. The headset that promised a new reality. You still remember that you are Joe Schmo that has a life, has a job, has bills to pay, has a family, etc. So when you put the headset on, there's no more room for this new reality. You still remember that you are you, and that you've just put this headset on. But if at some point the metaverse headset was sold with an accessory kit of amnesia spray, just like in a dream where you don't remember how you got there, you are now primed to believe everything in this new reality. And you can totally see Mark Zuckerberg being Mark Zuckerberg, not having the social intelligence or humanity of an Elon Musk, selling out humanity for a business venture, making a deal with China who will supply the amnesia spray for cheap. And China being China will instead swap out the temporary amnesia spray for a permanent one and ultimately take over the Western world. Because we're all idiots who know that TikTok is infecting us, but we still use it anyway, for money, even when we know if we continue to use it, we won't even have the freedoms to spend the money that we sold our countries out for. Because a society that worships money above virtues, values, ethics and morals are the easiest to puppet. I feel sorry for this kid Liam.
No, Liam, he's good. Give him a follow. He's running our TikTok. I hope he's still posting.
How is our TikTok doing?
They break his leg and then they infect his IP address, knowing full well how bad it is.
I don't know.
I don't go on TikTok because I won't let the CCP get access to my data.
Which reminds me, some of you are still not using a VPN. Gee willikers, if the TikTokers in your jiu-jitsu gym don't care about the safety of you or your country, at the very least, protect yourself. Click the link in the description below and get SurfShark for less than a cup of coffee. Plus you get access to any country's Netflix library, all around the world. You bought the Z-Lock instructional so you wouldn't get your leg broken by a girl. Make sure you buy a VPN so you don't have your identity stolen by China. While we're on the topic of innovations, Netflix, you should have come to me when your company was in turmoil trying to figure out your next move, and even though you stole my idea, I'll give you another one. Make a comment section. Humanoids are social creatures, and if you want to know your audience, build a community by putting a comment section in your platform. And another thing, while we are at it, YouTube, why don't you have an audio function for your comment section?
40 years, you're finally coming out of the closet, man.
I don't care who he is, how good he is, or how famous he is. He's gonna leave his f***ing legs behind.
Being super honest, when you're in a porn site, you search whatever you like to see, like two girls together, two blondies, you search. When you're curious about something, you go and you search.
You're the booger man now.
So we just move away from our training partner with our hips and get enormous.
To sell the fight, and I don't think there's anybody in this business that does better than me. Yeah. Maybe, it was a Gregor McConnor.
Who cares? Who cares, brother? Who cares, brother? Who cares? Today, smash. And I was 2% African, so I am legally allowed to say the word
The eye tracking sensors in the Apple Vision Pro are going to be used as data collection on human reactions to visual stimulus like Minority Report or a Black Mirror episode, and also be sold to China as well.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋。 bro, fucking hell, I grew up in Rotorua, Grew up in Rotorua, moved to Honganui, and eventually Auckland, 09. I'll tell you one thing, I know more about Kiwi culture and more about New Zealand culture. I've been on the grounds. I know more about that than this guy over here. Look at my skin. My skin is black. Do I look like a Kiwi to you?
Black outside, China inside. I am Chinese.
When the crap are you going to do jiu-jitsu instructional reviews again? Don't worry guys, they're coming.